Okay, everybody. Welcome to Flourishing Hearts. I'm Coach Lajuanaradcliffe. I help people to heal from narcissistic abuse, and I'm also a deliverance minister. We have the brilliant, the beautiful, the incredible. That's my girl, Coach Mo. She's from California. She lives in Vegas now, which is where I met her at. But I just want to briefly give you guys a rundown of her background. This is her bio. So she's a parenting and business coach. She helps coaches to identify their ideal clients to be able to create content, products, and services to gain income in their businesses. She also helps entrepreneurs, parents break generational curses. I know that's right. We gonna break them curses in Jesus' name. I know that's right. She helps people to co-parent with success, heal childhood trauma to be able to provide and raise mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually healthy children. I love that because there's a lot of broken people walking around here crazy and inflicting pain on innocent people when their mama did it and they daddy did it. That's not good. Mo is going to help get y'all together. So her expertise is parenting, co-parenting, changing the child's behavior, breaking generational curses, healing childhood trauma. And her business side of her business, she helps you with time management, work-life balance, identifying your ideal clients, create content, products, and services. She's also a content creator, and she helps you to identify and discover your niche. She's really good at that. She helped me, y'all. She was getting me together out there in Vegas. I mean, I was being abused by the narc, but on my off times when I wasn't getting screamed on, Mo was really helping me with my business because I was really, really confused about stuff. So she's wonderful at that. Um, she also says that you guys can follow her on her social media platforms, Monique Atkins Coaching. That's Instagram, Twitter, Atkins Coaching, TikTok, Monique Atkins Coaching, and Facebook as well. And I'm going to be putting this information in the description box. So, when all this stuff is said and done, when I upload it tomorrow, people will be able to get in contact with you, which is wonderful. So welcome, 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 Coach Mo. Yay, everybody, warm welcome to our girl, Coach Mo. Yay. Hey, honey, thank you for being here at Flourishing Hearts.
No problem, anytime.
Thank you for coming in. So, however you want to start, honey.
So, you want to talk a little bit about how we met?
A little girl talk with y'all. All right, so like I said, y'all know I'm from BK, but I moved to Vegas, and that's where I met Coach Mo and a few other women. We were brand new, entrepreneurs at that time. I think it was 2019, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, around there, 2019. Moment I met her, I thought she was so sweet, funny, interesting, really smart. And there was another woman that we were hanging out with, Amber, and we would just go get coffee and talk. And then we teamed up with these other women. We would meet at this coffee shop every week and work on our projects and our business. It was really good for a while.
Yeah.
But over time, egos started to clash, not between us, but other people. The egos started to clash. Wounded women will fight each other, and so when God is not in the mix and you ain't healed of that childhood trauma, now your mother wound start fighting somebody else's mother wound, it ruined a good thing, but it was really, really good to start. And we really supported each other. There was a time that me and Coach Mo was talking about it, like when the woman Tracy, who was running this whole group that we did, she was older than us. She was in her 50s, and she was pretty much teaching us how to, start our businesses and stuff like that. So we taking guidance from her. Then she said, "You know what, ladies, I need to take y'all up this mountain." So me, Coach Mo, and maybe 10 other women, we went up the mountain, and she was like, "Whatever y'all," and we did this healing circle thing, right, Coach Mo?
Yeah.
And we had to hold hands and
Yeah, I need to put my bus on.
Michelle, go on mute.
yeah, I had to Michelle on mute. Okay. So so we went up the mountain, y'all, and it was really emotional. I didn't think it was gonna be like that. I thought it was just going to be like, okay, we were going to be in a circle and maybe talk about things that was bothering us and hike and laugh and joke and leave. But it was deeply spiritual, guys. It was really, really incredible. Because Tracy had us all talk about the things that we've been, suppressing, the things that hurt us and the things that we didn't want nobody to know. And when she came up to me, she was like, you are really talented, but you know what to do, but you don't do it. You really have like a spirit of self-doubt on you. And she was like, you just hold things in. And I was like, no, I don't. No, I don't.
She was fighting it.
Yeah, I was fighting it because Tracy would go to each woman and speak like whatever God was telling her was going on with that. I feel like, Mo, I'm going to do that again. I feel like, but I'm going to be leading a group. I feel like I'm going to do that. I'm going to take women on some kind of spiritual journey, retreat thing. And because it was really cathartic for me. So she's like, Lajuana, you just got to let that spirit of self, and I'm all tough for Brooklyn. I was like, no, I'm not going to let it go. And she was like, it's okay to cry. I was like, I'm not going to cry. I was like holding it in. And then I closed my eyes and the tears was just streaming down my face because everything she said was right. And then out of nowhere, you guys said this spirit, the wind whipped up, right, Mo?
Yeah, it was like a big gust of wind that was like whoosh.
Yeah. That was literally that spirit of self-doubt. It left me just like that. And it shows how heavy it was on me too. It was there probably from when I was a kid. But I'm telling y'all, when I walked down from that mountain, and it was so cool, right, Mo? Like we were laughing and joking. We felt lighter.
Everybody left their burdens.
Yeah, we all left our burdens behind. And like 2 months later, that's when I really started like moving and speaking in Vegas and doing other things. So that was really true. I was in bondage and I didn't even know about spiritual warfare. I didn't know about deliverance at that time, but I went through a deliverance on that mountain. So yeah, and I feel like that's when me and Mo, we got even closer because we all got a chance to share something as beautiful as that, even though we didn't want to tell our business like that, but it just like it was what it was. But yeah, so how is that for you, Mo? That
It
is
was
crazy, huh?
very, yeah, because I was super emotional and I don't like to cry. I like to try to stay strong. And it was one of those really emotional things, and it made you dig deeper for your healing journey because then it brought stuff to light that you didn't think about, especially when you start hearing everyone else's testimonies and things they were releasing. Then you're like, oh my gosh, like for me, it was releasing being like carrying a burden for everybody else, but I don't have nobody to carry it for me. And
Mm-hmm.
then being the person my whole family depends on financially and just like overwhelmed. Like I don't want to be the strong one all the time. So it's one of
Mm-hmm.
those things like it's okay to let somebody else take care of you or ask for help because that was my problem. I'm not gonna ask nobody for help because I don't want to be disappointed. So it's one of those things where I was like so
Mm-hmm.
light coming back down the mountain. And
Yeah.
we all I feel like we came down the mountain all new person.
Yeah, we definitely did. We did. And it shifted something in all of us. And that's probably why the group went haywire after that, because I feel like that was the main reason why God brought us all together to
Yeah.
really, because my business wasn't launched through that, but I do know that she said something to me that really is going to stick with me forever, Tracy. She said, Lajuana, God is calling you to go deep and you're trying to stay in shallow waters. Remember when she told me that? I
Mhm.
was just like, no, I don't want to go deep. I want to stay out here. And so, like, when she was telling me these things, I was just like, and I look at my life now, my ministry, my coaching business, I was like, dang, she was so true. Sometimes people could see things in you
Yeah.
that you don't even know it's in you. And
I used to
God will
push
use,
you
you know,
and pull it out of you. I used to be like,
yeah,
nah, dig
that's what
deeper,
I'm
dig
saying. You
deeper.
did. You did. You used to pull it out and like, Lajuana, you could do this and that. And I was like, I don't know. Remember, I was jumping around with trying to figure out my business. I was like, what am I this? What am I? I was just all over the place. I just couldn't figure it out. But I think it just wasn't time.
Yeah.
It wasn't time for me to figure that out. I didn't know that the abuse that I was going through in my marriage was going to be the catalyst to actually launching me because
Right.
you know, and guys, I didn't know until recently when me and Mo spoke, she said she knew that I was being abused. but she never said anything. You see that, how you think you hiding stuff from people and people will know.
Yeah, there was some red flags, and I'm like, I'm gonna just keep an eye out on it, because I know I'll tell you, like, if you need anything, I'm here for you, whatever. So it's like whenever
Yeah,
you're ready to talk about it, I could see through all that stuff, like the red flags.
yeah, yeah. I thought I was hiding it, y'all, but I really wasn't. So what like made you get into like parenting coaching or like why did you say this is the area that I need to go into?
You know what's weird? I started off as a family coach, but then I was like, no, I don't want to focus on the whole family. And growing up, most like 99% of my friends were in bad households or in foster care. And my mom was
Mm,
like, why you always attract these type of friends? Like I always convinced my mom to take them in or to adopt them,
mm,
let them come live with us. Our house was a safe house for all my friends.
wow.
So everybody always came to live with us. But then when I got older, I would take in kids because I used to mentor high school kids. I was a high school cheer coach
Mm,
for a long time. And their parents were like, they can go live with you. Because they're
what?
always like, can I come live with you? And I'll get them in college and everything. And now I see them, they're like, oh, I got a master's degree and I graduated. I'm having a baby. They're getting married. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
Dang.
it was my babies. But I would take them in and mentor them.
Goodness.
And I realized a lot of the problems that they had were not their problems. It was started with the parents. So I figured, let me fix
Mm,
the parents so the kids can have a fighting chance. So
mm.
that's why I went into coaching parents instead of kids, because I'm like, it's not your fault. So
Wow. Yeah.
that's what we do, deal with parents, and why I don't coach kids. I coach parents because I'm like, if I coach the kid and they still go home to a toxic environment, it's pointless. You're wasting your money
Hmm.
because it's
That's
not them,
true.
it's you.
That's so true. And I've had times like that. And my area of expertise is not kids, but there are times where the parents are like, can you help our kids? They want, to coach them. And 9 times out of 10, like you said, it's the parents.
Not them, yeah.
And and the kids are like, and I'll have conversations with, and the kids are so smart and they know what's wrong. They see actually the deficits and the dysfunction of their parents, but they can't tell their parents that because they don't want to get in trouble. So
Yeah.
I'm sitting here with this fine line of, you're telling me your kid is the issue, but your kid really is not. They're just a reflection of you. Like
Yeah,
you're
with
not doing the right thing.
my program with helping change child behavior, the whole program is about the parents changing their behavior so that they can model who they want their child to be. So they'll be like,
Mhm.
oh, it's me. And they realize, like, oh, yeah, I can't change my child behavior. A lot of stuff is just hereditary, it's learned behaviors, but they learned
Mhm.
it from you.
And a
So it's
lot of parents don't want to hear that. How do you deal with that, Mo? Like when you have to say, "Hey, it's you. It's really not your kid. Is your bad example."
well, I'm straightforward. So I do a lot of screening before I work with people because I don't work with everybody because that energy, I protect my energy at all costs. So
Yep.
um, before working with people, I do go over a list of stuff they have to answer and things like that because I got to see if they're actually ready to be coached. Because you can throw money at me, all money ain't good money. You can
Mm-hmm.
be like, oh, I'm ready to coach, and then when it comes down to coaching, you're fighting me for your breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to
Mm-hmm.
do more work trying to get you to realize, like, you have
Yeah.
to accept your part in accountability and ownership. That's my biggest things.
Oh
So
my
if you're not
goodness.
willing to be open to feedback, accountability, ownership, and like self-reflecting,
Yeah.
then like I can't work with you.
Yeah. What was like your toughest case that you had?
It was a couple actually. They were just broke up, and they were trying to co-parent. And the whole time, the guy just wasn't hearing her out. And I told him the whole time, y'all couldn't co-parent because the whole time she just missed her friend. So she was making
Mm-hmm.
hard because she's like, we used to be best friends. He was my everything. You know how sometimes we get in a relationship and we throw away all our friendships and be with that, just focus
Oh
on
yeah.
our and you lose everybody. So that is your support system. That's your everything. And then when you break up, it's like I lost my friend. And
Mm-hmm.
the whole time she was giving him a hard time because she missed her friend, because every time she wanted to like have family night or something and coexist, because I teach parents how to coexist. Um, he would be like, why didn't you just tell me that? We pay all this money and you
Mm,
just didn't tell me that you just miss me in our friendship. We can hang out. We can have family days
wow.
with our kids. And
Yeah.
it took weeks for her to open up and just like finally say it. Cause I'm like, just tell him. Cause we'll do separate
Yes.
sessions together. And the whole time it was just like she was like, I miss my friend. We were friends first before we were in a relationship. And now we're like enemies, because she never told him her feelings and that she just want her friend back. They don't want to be together, but just have that friendship, somebody you could talk to when you're having difficult days with your kid, stuff like that. Because she lost all her friends from the relationship
And don't a lot of women do that? I
all the
mean, we
time.
can attest like that. So many women will get with a man. I had a 5-year friendship and it just went down the drain because soon as she met that dude, and she only knew him for a few weeks, she was like, "Oh, we're gonna get married. We're gonna have a kid. We're gonna do this." I was like, "Well, dang, you can't do both with. I'm your friend." Like she was just like, "I gotta nurture this relationship with him." I was just like, "You literally only met this dude just making a few, like almost a month." But
But
some women,
in
yeah,
narcissistic abuse, they remove you from everybody they know that
that's
would be
true.
red flag. You need to drop
That's
him.
true.
So
That's
it
true.
happens a lot when I see people that actually had a narcissistic partner and they're like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah, he
yeah.
moved me away from all my family and friends.
Well,
And
you know that happened with me.
that was the first red flag. I'm like, what? She's here by herself? Like, okay, keep that noted. Because then you got to
Yeah,
think about who their support system is, or who could you go to if you didn't feel comfortable, if you didn't feel safe and stuff like that, because they keep you away from the people that will
yeah,
protect you, that'll rescue you, stuff like that.
yeah. Absolutely. Oh, great segue, Mo. So let's talk about co-parenting with a narc. I know we could talk all day, but we not, because I want you to present this thing to the women and to the audience, because I know people are going to really be blessed by this information. This is one of the most common questions I get. I am not a parenting coach. I do know how some stuff, but that's not my area. This is her area of expertise. And whenever you want to start, Mo, you can start.
Okay. Are you able to disable the screen sharing so that will you
Okay,
disable it so that I can share the screen?
sure. You should be able to share yours now.
All right.
And we're talking about co-parenting with a narcissist. Coach Mo is a parenting coach, and she's been doing this for many years.
Let me log back into Canva. Oh, there we go. Presentation. All right. So I know some of you guys weren't in here in the beginning, so she did share like how we met. We met here in Vegas. I do want to
Mhm.
talk to you guys about reclaiming your power with co-parenting with a narcissist. This is a little bit about me that she described to you guys. I am a parenting and business coach. Um, my main thing when dealing with parents is helping them break those generational curses and healing from their childhood trauma, because we want those go two and two together. We want you to be able to have spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy kids and not carry it on generation after generation, if you don't have to. um, One of the things about co parenting with a narcissist, there usually is no middle ground or compromise in a situation with a narcissistic partner, but it's not hopeless. It's not a hopeless situation, because a lot of people feel backed against the wall and they're like, there's no way I can co parent with this person. Like, I feel like I don't have no other option. But it's not that. It's not called co parenting, it's called parallel parenting. It's a different form of co parenting with a narcissist, because you have to disengage and minimize contact. There have to be a lot of boundaries established, because narcissists love attention. They'll do anything for attention, including like do something to your child because they know your heart is for your kid. And us mothers, we would do anything to protect our kid. And they usually take it there. So you have to establish firm boundaries around the home, school, etc., especially with communicating. Um, the narcissistic behavior can be detrimental to the kid. So I do suggest like you seek therapy, family counseling, mentors, things like that. But avoid feeling sorry for your kid because a lot of times we will sacrifice everything because we don't want our kid. We want to protect them. We want to. We feel bad, like or we get that parent guilt, and we're like, it's my fault. My kid has got to go through this stuff like that, but it's not your fault. But you have to stay strong when dealing with this type of situation. And I know sometimes it's hard. You want to give up, and it's hard being strong sometimes. But that's when like self care come into play, things like that. But you have to have limited communication with the other parent. Um, like me, when I co-parent my son, dad, we know we cannot text, we cannot email because it always get misinterpreted. So we know our form of communication is either video chat or in person or by voice. I need to hear that you're not being sarcastic and things like that. So you have to limit how they can communicate with you. What form of communication work for you because a lot of times things can get misconstrued and then they escalate to a whole nother situation. But you also have to teach and model emotional intelligence because you got to be able to seek out what's real, what's not, because they narcissists lie a lot, and you got to be able to have that emotional intelligence where you be like, okay, he just egged me on or gaslighting me, things like that. You got to be able to recognize those things. But one thing I always tell parents, do not speak bad about the other parent to your kids. Please don't do that because that's what would cause that childhood trauma in your child. And then when they see things for themselves, because kids always will see the light, sometimes before you, and they can see through people and be like, you thought you was hiding it from them, and they actually was like, oh, I already knew that, mom, or I knew that this was going on, and we can't hide it that long. Kids are too smart, especially nowadays. Um, but don't speak badly because they will see it themselves. Trust me, and then you don't want them to resent you later on when they get older and start seeing the light for themselves. But just be there for your children, support them, and seek out family therapy. Um, this is like the best thing to do. I'm big on therapy. Oh, I forgot to say a little bit about my background. Even though I am a coach, like my background is in psychology. I call
Mhm.
myself a career student because I'm always going back to school for a degree or a certification. But I have a bachelor's in psychology. I have a master's in psychology with emphasis in life coaching. So I'm trained in marital coaching, like relationship, corporate
Mhm.
executive, all different niche of coaching. And then I'm a few classes away from getting my PhD in psychology and industrial and organizational psychology. So like psychologist of the workplace.
Okay.
So,
Sorry.
pharmacy tech for 11 years. Like it's just a whole lot of resources. When people come to me, I'm like, oh, I can find a resource for you. I'm a researcher. I'm naturally a researcher. I love giving information. Even if I don't know the answer, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm like, I'm gonna find a research for you. But
Oh.
I forgot to mention that because I don't include it in my bio, but it's on my website. Um, but now we're going to talk about parallel parenting. This is how you would parent with a narcissist. So hold on one second. All right. So what parallel parenting is, it's an arrangement in which divorced parents are able to co-parent by means of disengaging from each other and having limited direct contact in situations where they have demonstrated that they are unable to communicate with each other in a respectful manner. Because we know narcissists like to go below the belt when they feel like they're losing power. So these are the things that you must do. You have to let the kids have a relationship with the other parent. Um, no matter what, like sometimes people will be like, well, I don't feel safe with my kids, or I don't feel like my kids will be safe with the other parent. In most situations, even when you go to like court and stuff like that, they usually don't take custody fully from the other parent because they're not hurting the kid, but they're hurting you, and they'll separate those things. So when they're considering custody and things like that, they're like, well, he never done anything to the kid. He's doing everything to hurt you. So they always have let the kid have a relationship. So no matter what, unless he's abusive to the kid, then it's a different story. But let the kid have a relationship with the other parent. They will truly see the light eventually. It's harder for younger kids because they don't really understand what's going on. I've always been like one of those people that support parents being transparent with the kid, but not bad talking. Um, but make sure they have that relationship because you don't want to cause another level of trauma with abandonment issues and stuff like that. Um, Only respond to scheduled dates and times and ignore accusations and attacks because we know. I have an example. Like I have um, my brother-in-law. He was going through custody issue, and in this situation, the mom was the narcissist, and she would do anything to get attention in the court, and the court will always believe her and then
Mhm.
have to investigate. So for 3 years, they were fighting custody because it kept getting postponed because every time they came to court, she had an accusation or attack. Simple stuff like him
Mm.
taking his son, 7-year old, to the bathroom. She's like, oh, he touched his penis and stuff like that.
What?
The little boy didn't even say that.
Oh, that's
um,
wicked.
he'll just like if we're out on vacation or something, we go with the girls to the bathroom, he go with the boys.
Oh my
But
goodness.
this man was like the best father ever and took care of everything, provided everything, and she would make him seem like a bad person. But I had to come represent
Mm.
his side in court. Like I've coached him and I've
Wow.
coached the kids because I would watch the kids and be that support part of his circle, his village. And I'm
Right.
like, I speak to the kids, and the kids are always open and honest with me. They'll speak to me about everything, and I'll let them know, like, I know you're telling me all this and what's going on at your mom house and your dad house.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have to talk to your parents if I feel like you're in danger or something like that. So
Right.
it was one of those things where I had to be a witness in court because I've talked to both the kids and I've counseled him throughout the
Mm.
custody battle as a mediator and tried to help
Mm.
with co-parenting and stuff like that. But it was no hope with her because she was just like, oh, I want to take him for everything you have type of thing. And
Wow.
um, it backfired. It backfired to where the judge started seeing things for what it is after it dragged out for so long.
Mm-hmm.
She lost power. She went crazy. So then we were like, okay, we need her to have a psych evaluation before the kids can be with.
Mm.
So it got to that point where they're like, you lied about all this stuff and we proved it and hired an investigator and everything and proved everything to be wrong. And they're like, well, what's wrong with you? Are you mentally stable to be a mom?
Wow.
Sometimes those things you got to document everything that they're doing, all the accusations,
Yeah. Yeah.
have everything in writing. There's a lot of parenting apps you can use. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but some courts will have you do the app where they can have all the transcript in the app and
Mm.
see how you're communicating with each other because you have to limit the way you communicate due to accusations and things like that. Um,
That's
but you,
really good, Mo, with the parenting app.
yeah,
Keisha just said in the comments, I had to get a parenting app to communicate with my ex-husband because he's very skilled at deceiving the court and still
yeah.
trying to twist any words spoken, talking parenting apps. Oh, wow.
I've
I
seen it
didn't
a
even
few
know that
times
this.
where they would be like, okay, we need to see y'all do y'all exchanges. Like maybe you need to go to the police department because like my brother-in-law had to go to the police department just to exchange because she was like, oh, he tried to attack me or rape me and stuff like that. It was just crazy accusations.
That's
So
horrible.
they have to exchange the kids at the police station to make sure he has witness around um, to make
Hmm.
sure that he don't get accused of anything.
Right.
But yeah, the parenting app is amazing. A lot of people I know use it because that's
Hmm.
the only way they can prove that they didn't say something that the person accused them of saying. All communication have to go through the app. All dates and exchanges and things like that had to be documented in the app.
Keisha, can you tell us the name of the app so that the audience can know what that is?
Yeah, it's called Talking Parents. It's mainly two that really are like court approved, or
Okay.
that like the court, like I had a divorce attorney that the court would like approve to use in a custody issue, and that's Talking Parents and our Family Wizard. I think it's called Our Family Wizard. I didn't use the wizard one as the name, but the Talking Parents, it allow you to even exchange like pictures or photographs, and it documents every conversation, because like my ex would say like she's trying to kill me, or I'm scared of da, da, da. And you know, you can just be very objective and say, you know, per the divorce decree, this is the you know,
Okay.
supervision is here, and then everything is through the court, like they can print it out and it's a transcript.
Thank you. Thank you for that. That's really good. That's good.
Yeah.
I
And
think thank you, Mo, for even bringing that up, because I didn't even know that thing existed.
Yeah, it gets serious because like when I'm co-parenting with like people that can co-parent, I always tell them, I'm gonna teach you how to co-parent to eliminate courts making decisions for you. But when someone come to me that
Mm.
need parallel parenting, I'm like, get the courts involved, because this person
Mhm.
need a judge to be able to tell them this is what you can and cannot do. Um, but when there's someone that can compromise and like not out to get the other person, then I always say don't go to court because it won't benefit you. We can
Mhm.
work this out and build a co-parenting plan together. And you can get it notarized and then take it to court if you want it legalized.
Mhm.
Sometimes courts make it a little more difficult to live a normal life without having to get permission to do everything. See, yeah, Demetrius.
Yeah, I know. I was looking when she was saying that he has to pick up my son from the daycare to limit my contact with him.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, you were saying that, Mo, like people have to, sometimes you need a go-between, and and other than your house. I had a client, this was last year. She said that she was trying to do the exchange of their kids, and he was like, "Oh, come by my house," or whatever. And she was like, that was normal. She went by his house. He had the new girl like kissing the girl all in her mouth right in front as she's pulling up in front of the kids early in the morning as he's supposed to take them to school. She lost it, jumped out the car, and almost tried to fight the girl and him at the same time. So it
That's that emotional intelligence. You got to be able to hold it together, recognize
ladies,
they're
y'all
moving
hear
on
that?
purpose, and
Yep.
yeah. Because even for years, me and my son dad, even though we were childhood best friends, I've known him since I was 15. Um, Even for years, me and him would exchange at the train station in the park and ride parking lot because he lived with his girlfriend. And I was
Mm,
like, I don't want to meet none of your girlfriends. That ain't my business. I don't want them to know how I look. I don't want them to know where I live, or
right.
to be, I don't know if they're tracking you and then show up at my house. So he didn't know my address for years because we'll meet up
Mm,
at a common spot, be like, hey, we can exchange here. I'm not coming to your house. She's not coming over mine. I don't need the drama. Don't bring it my way. I don't want to meet him.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. But when it comes to parallel parenting, you have to disengage yourself from the other person and all
Mhm.
attempts to, because they're going to try to suck you back in. They're going to try to charm you
Mhm.
to see, like, oh, maybe I can get her back, and don't fall for it. Because a lot of people do. I've seen it happen multiple times, like, oh, he's changed. And no, he didn't.
Mhm. Yep.
He just wanted to reel you back in and get you where he needed you to
Mhm.
disable your support group again. And then here go another child. Then you're having another baby with him and you locking
Yep.
you in. Again. And
Yep.
this is like the repeat of the cycle, the broken
Yep.
cycle continues.
Yep.
You have to disengage. And that's why you need to communicate through the apps and stuff like that, because then they can't be tricky with words and try to convince you to come do other stuff, because they're not supposed to reach out to you in any other way. But focus
Mhm.
your energy on your child. Um, that's important because they will need a lot more tender love and care when you're going
Mhm.
through the cycle of like trying to get some type of custody in place
Mhm.
where you can hold the other person accountable if they break the agreement, things like that. But
Mhm.
they say go to therapy, get a great therapist or a coach for you and your child. Um, it don't help for you to be getting help and then the child don't get help. So you got to do it together. I know a lot of family people do family therapy, but I always suggest you individually also get a therapist because some things you don't want to talk about in a family therapy session with your kids. That's confidential,
Mhm.
because you don't want to damage your kids with your trauma. But sometimes there's something in you that needs to be worked out as to like your parent guilt, and sometimes you beat yourself up like, how did I attract this type of person? It get real. It get real because
Mhm.
you're blaming yourself. When people show up as a representative, there's no way to know if someone is a narcissist because they're good at
Mhm.
hiding and falling under the radar.
Yep,
Yeah.
that they are.
Court order will also say communication must only be, yep, and
Oh, yep.
limit everything. And then you can report the stuff that they're saying. The court will be able to see everything on the app.
I love that. I never knew about the parenting apps, and so I think that's so cool because one of my clients from 2 days ago, she was reading back a text message from her narcissistic, kid's father, and he was just like, you're a horrible mother. He was just saying all this horrible stuff, and I just
Mm-hmm.
was like, they'll take whatever, like you said, Mo, they'll take whatever chance they can to hurt you. And so if you do have the parenting apps and stuff like that, they're not gonna, 9 times out of 10, we know narcs are crazy anyway. But
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, they're gonna think twice before saying something nasty, to you, because that's what they do. They have to make you feel so small that is
Mm-hmm.
like you don't have a voice.
Yep.
So yeah, that's
Cases where they do carry their abuse over to the parenting app and chat, and that'll be the one thing that courts look at. They're like, oh, you're talking to the other parent this way, like
mm-hmm.
how you talk to the kids. I've seen in cases where the men actually have only supervised visitation because of the way they act in the chat
See?
and the app, and they're like, oh, we we don't feel safe for the kids or the kids' safety with you, so now you're going to have all supervised visits. Now you're not going to have them
Sure.
alone ever because we need to protect the kid. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's always about the kid when you're going through those situations.
Yeah.
They only know the law. Remember the kingdom of darkness.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Um. So work on you to become the best parent you can be. Don't worry
Yes,
about
that's
the
important.
type of parent the other person, because that's a lot of the issues I have with it. When working with parents, they're like, "But he did this." I'm like, "That ain't your business.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about him. Focus on
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
because you drive yourself crazy trying to control what the next person do."
But he did. It's like the fool crazy.
Yep.
You expect when he was with you, he was foolish. Now you think when y'all not together, he gonna be this sweet, kind man?
And he's gonna use your kids to do it, because your kids gonna come home and be like, "Mom, Dad said you did
Mm-hmm.
this," and it'd be like, "Okay, you go in there now. Now you're trying to manipulate my kids and mess up my kids'
I know, I
where
know.
they view me and mess up my character." So yeah, they go there.
I know that it's awful. But
Yeah,
we, as women, and it's going to be men who watch this too, we don't want to make it seem like all narcissists are just like the men. Definitely a lot of narcissistic mothers and abusive mothers out there too, for
yeah,
sure. For
I've
sure.
seen over the last few years.
Yeah, it's a
Crazy.
lot of psychotic mothers out there that are using their kids. What about, when they what's the term? What Munchausen by proxy? When they
Yeah,
like will poison the kid and take them to the hospital just to get attention? It's
yeah,
crazy.
because they want it to be about them.
Yep. I
To
mean,
be
there's some
other
mothers
things.
who even kill their kids. And I mean, all that just to have, oh, I'm so, grief stricken so that they could get all this attention. Some people are really sick in this world.
But even narcissistic parents, like be jealous of their kid because the other parent give their kid attention and time
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Because I've seen those cases too where they're just like jealous
Yeah.
and you don't give me attention and you don't do this and you're like, are you serious? This is your child. Help me, and then I won't need to spend so much time with the kid.
Right, right, right. Oh my goodness.
They're like,
Doesn't
I
even make sense.
they're like, that's your
Insane.
job. But
Crazy.
create boundaries for when your children are available by phone, um, that are reasonable for your household. So you could be like, you can't call after 7 o'clock,
Yeah.
or type of things like that, or based on their work schedule. If they get off late, be like, okay, call your kid in the morning on their way to school or something. Um, what I did when it came to communicating with my kid, I'm like, okay, I'll give my kid his own cell phone, and we don't have to talk at all. You can talk to him,
Mm-hmm.
because my brother-in-law had to do that, get his daughter her own cell phone that she would have when she's with him, and
Mm-hmm.
then with her mom, she had a phone with her mom because her mom would try to look through the phone and be like, download tracking stuff to be able to see where they get.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't exchange phones from different houses, so they're like, your phone gonna stay here. When you go with mom, she has a phone to provide you. Um, because it was a stalking of social media. It got ridiculous.
People got too much time on their damn hands.
That's what I said.
That's too much to go through. Stalking the exes and with the kids' phone.
Speaking of social media, block your ex on all social media sites
Yep.
and the email account just for them. Make that the only means of communication if you don't use
I
that.
like that. I like that.
It restricts them from commenting, trying to tarnish your image online, virtually. Cyberbullying is what it's called. Um, but it prevents all that, because we had instances where um, his ex-wife would create a fake account just to stalk my sister.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you guys
Yeah.
brought every screenshot to court. Like they were on vacation,
Mm.
and the weekends he didn't have the kids. They're out of the country. He's spending money on her, and like my sister make money too. So it's
Oh,
those things
wow.
where if the kids are
To
out at the
go to
pool,
him.
she's claiming and accusing them of like child pornography. If they post it on social media, they're like, they're at a water park. They're out
That's
playing
awful.
because they're in a bathing suit. It used to be a lot of accusations and stuff. So they had to block her from everything, and then bring it to the
Insane.
court, tell her like, if we find you on social media stalking her and find your fake accounts, then you're going to be charged with like stalking. We're going to get a
Mm-hmm.
restraining order.
And I
Because
would tell people too to make sure that you know the law for your state, right, Mo? Isn't that important? Like for people to know the law because different states, different laws and stuff like that. And the narcs will try to use that, our ignorance, let's just say, male or female, whatever, narc will try to use that against the good parent. So like to use the court system to abuse you. That's why you need to, do research on these things.
oh yeah, especially when it comes to crossing state lines and things like that, they could say you're kidnapping a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It is illegal in some states. You have to get permission from a judge. That's why I used to tell people like, don't go to court, because then you can't even go on vacation without the other parent's permission. And if you're dealing with a narcissist, then they're gonna be like, nope, you can't.
Mm.
Nope, I'm not signing
No.
the application for you to get a passport for my kid. You might run and leave out of the country forever. Like it just, I've heard so many crazy things. It's ridiculous.
Wow. My goodness. It's like you can't even live.
Yeah, it restricts you. They try to restrict you from moving forward and having a better life without them. So they'll
Yep.
do everything to like just stop you from being able to live free fully.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But always turn your ringer off at the time. Um, like say for instance, you set no calls after 7. After 7, put your phone on do not disturb. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
because then they'll be basically just violating your boundary. So
Mm-hmm.
it's after 7, give it like 5 minutes. If they call a little late, 5 minutes, and tell them after 7:05, the phone will be off. You will not be
Mm-hmm.
able to communicate with your child
Yep.
and put that in the app. you have restrictions for traveling with your child. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
when you go to court, they do that. I know people have to have permission to go on vacation because my brother-in-law have to do that with his kids. They have to go to court whenever there's a vacation or he's taking the kids out of the country. She has to, if she want to take the kids out of the country, he have to release the passports to her temporarily, but then the passports come back to him when they're back in the country. Um, because she was the crazy part about it, she was a contract mom, so she was a surrogate, and part of the agreement was he had to marry her to make her a citizen.
What?
Made his life a living hell.
Oh
He
my
paid her to be a
goodness.
surrogate for his two kids, and then now they're like, you can't leave and take the kids to your country forever. Like you have to get court permission because she
Oh,
did try to leave and take them and go back to her country. And yeah, it get crazy. It get messy.
oh, wow. Well, this is, you could write a book about this stuff.
I think I told him to say, you can go ahead and write a book.
No, for real. This is crazy.
But with the kids' relationship with the child, the kids can call whenever at a decent time. But you do have to kind of discuss with the kids, like if the other parent asks about what they're doing in the household, or if they're video calling, you don't want them to be walking around the house showing off where you're at and things like that, just for your protection. Or them asking about because they will ask about the other parent, what you do or what y'all doing? Let me see your mom. Point the camera here, doing all this extra stuff, and it's unnecessary. But you do got to coach your kids on. You talk to daddy only in this room, or
Mm-hmm.
don't tell them about everything we did. You don't have to report to the other parent because kids do get interrogated.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys do so they can have some ammunition to use in court?
Yeah.
Um, and it gets ridiculous how they use kids,
Yeah.
innocent innocent kids, because kids don't know that oh daddy just fishing for information.
Right. Yeah.
To use
They
kids.
don't. It's true.
Oh, mommy had a friend over. What was it? Was it a girl? Like it's just we went to lunch with mommy friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
just so
who
interesting.
is it?
They don't
Who
know
is
their
this dude?
things are
Find
going.
out his name. What car he drive? You know, what's his license plate? You like, yeah,
And
they will do, them narcs will do that. The women too will go in
like
there and,
I don't want this
whoo,
person around my kid. And be like, here we go.
you know what I just heard? Y'all know those Apple, what do they call those? The trackers? Those little circular, what they
Uh-huh.
call them things? Those
The
Apple things?
yeah. The I forgot what
What?
they call.
I forgot. But the little Apple circ, it's like a tracker. Y'all better watch out for those too.
They put them on people's
Somebody
cars.
knows, somebody in the comments know what it is.
Yep.
Air tags. Thank you, Chase. Thank you.
Couldn't think of it.
Yeah, I couldn't think of it. Yes, those air tags. I just heard the Holy Spirit said, tell people to watch out for those too, because they're small. It's only like the size of a quarter. And like Mo is saying, you're traveling with the kid, and that will directly tell you, you know, the person's location. So watch out for those air tags, y'all.
I've seen parents put it in their kid's shoe. I've
What?
seen
See?
women put it in the man's wallet in the section they don't normally go in. I've seen so many different things. They'll put it like cut something in the kid's shoe, like a piece of the
Mm.
insole, and put it in there to try.
Somebody, Michelle just said that you can get an app called Tracker Detect for Android. Wow. Okay. See how, look
They
at
put it
that.
on people's cars. Like it's easy to just tag it onto something. When you
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes in when doing parallel parenting, they will suggest that because I know like with my brother-in-law, he wouldn't send the kid. He would send the kids home with what they came with, um,
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh, that's
or they
good.
wouldn't exchange bags. So the kids could only come with their backpack, but he'll leave the backpack in like the car or something. Because of those type of things, you could put a tracker in a bag. All their clothes will be at his house when he's with them, and then the clothes will be at her house when they're with them, so that they don't have to have a bag that they bring. He'll only
Right.
bring just like their backpack, and he'll check their backpack every time they come, empty the backpack and leave it in the car. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because of those type of things, because it's happened.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're talking about this because so many people don't know about. I didn't even know what an air tag was until last month.
Really? They've been doing
I
those for
didn't
years.
know. And it
Go on
was
TikTok and search like AirTag, and you'll see parents doing it. You'll see spouses doing it. It'll be a lot of videos come
no
up.
idea, y'all, about what an air tag was until last year. I mean, last month. And, one of my friends bought one, was like, oh, look. And I was just like, what's that? Oh, an air tag. What's that? What's that? So
I
just think of me. Somebody could have put that in my bag. I wouldn't even.
I use it when I travel like international, so I can know my bag made it with me.
Yeah, it makes sense for sure. Because airports with the luggage. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So
It's
you
a whole
said,
channel I seen on TikTok where the girl was teaching women how to hide air tags in their kids' shoes and stuff. For when you deal with the other parent. I'm like, this is toxic.
yes, it's definitely toxic. And some of these parents might cut the sole off, put the air tag in, and glue it back. I'm telling too much now.
They have a shoe with me, but like the tongue of the shoe, they were slicing the top of the tongue and putting it right there.
Oh man, see, I didn't even know this stuff existed. I'm sitting here saying, Holy Spirit showing me all this stuff. I'm like, what? Yep. Michelle said air tags are great for pets too. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. I think that's really good. I think they're definitely good, but then, like you said, Mo, people could use them for evil too.
Yeah. And when
Hmm.
it comes to your kids, like I'm big on. I guess it's because I'm very empathic and very intuitive. When I
Hmm.
see a kid not want to talk to the other parent, I tell people do not force them to talk to them. If they don't want to talk on the phone, don't
Yeah.
force them. There's a reason. I always say seek to understand. When it comes to kids, I always seek to understand. Don't pass judgment. Don't get mad. Ask them questions. Don't sound like you're interrogating them, but
Hmm.
ask them like, why don't you want to talk? And they'll tell you. Sometimes it takes time, and it's the way you do approach the situation. You be like, okay, it's okay that you don't want to talk right now. Maybe you'll talk to them later.
Right.
Like,
Right.
um, because it could have been like, oh, last time I talked to dad, he yelled at me, or
Yeah.
hurt their feelings, or got mad because they wouldn't give information, things like that. So always listen and then document in the app. It's like, hey,
Hmm.
I don't want to talk to you right now. Could we try again tomorrow or another day or whatever? Um, but it do affects them mentally when you're forcing them to talk to someone they don't want to talk to. Same with hugging people. Like kids feed off energy.
Yeah.
Um, they read it before we do, and they'll know like somebody's not a safe person, and you could tell by their body language how it changed, things like
Yep.
that. So I always pay attention to how kids react to people because I'm like something's going on.
Hmm.
But you
Yeah.
can make a landline the only means of communication because you ain't gonna track no landline. You can't manipulate
That's
a
true.
landline.
That's
I
true. Do they even still have landlines? Do they even
always
still
have
exist?
one. I always have one in case of emergency. Because I guess because I grew up in California and when they have earthquakes, the only thing
Yeah. Yeah.
landline on cell phone towers go down. So we always keep a landline. I never know the number, but it'd be there for years.
Well, that's
Sometimes
smart
it
because
isn't plugged up to it. It ain't even plugged up. A phone not even plugged up to it.
yeah,
Active.
that's good though. Okay.
But don't be afraid to say no. I always tell people it's okay to say yes to yourself and no to others.
Yeah.
Um, big on that. Don't be afraid to say no. Because sometimes when you do tell a narcissist no, they try to find a way to play the victim because they're always in the victim mentality. Um,
Hmm.
and they throw your kid in the mix and like, oh,
Yeah.
you're trying to hold my kid away from me. It's just
Hmm.
always something.
And half the time they don't even want to see the damn kid. They just
That's
want to come against you.
Yep. Like they want to switch days and oh, I'll take them this weekend and we switch weekends or something. No, no. Like I have an event. I want to take the kids to. No, we follow in the
See?
court order. Period. Take me to
Period.
court if you want to change it.
Right.
If these are my
Mm.
days. The answer is no. But let the kids love the other parent.
Yeah.
no matter what, because kids don't sometimes see what you see in other parent because you're going based on your experience. Um,
True.
Especially like little girls. Sometimes their father is their love of their life, their first love. And I've seen parents be like, "Oh, I hate that they love this person so much and they don't know who
Mm.
they are." Like, let them have that type of relationship they want to
Yep.
have with that person because their experience is different.
Yep. Yep.
So we can't punish them for loving the other parent, even though you know the other parent is like, you know the true colors, but they don't treat the kid that way.
Right.
So let your
Right.
kid love the other parent because you don't want them to resent you um,
Mm-hmm.
because of your bitterness and because you're not healed.
It's true.
But, another thing, he would try to get to you emotionally through your kids, so ignore it.
Yeah.
um, Take it to therapy, document it, and take it to therapy and work it out with your therapist. Um, do not get mad at the kid because they don't know any better. They're
Mm-hmm.
just a person in that situation. And the last
Mm-hmm.
thing, if you don't have legal custody agreement or a parenting contract, get one and get it notarized so it can be legal,
That's
binding.
good.
Um,
That's good.
because I'm a trust but verify kind of person. And if anything happened and I call the police, they'll always ask you, "Do you have a custody agreement?" Or
Mm-hmm.
they can take the kid out of the school or change schools on you for with the kid. I've seen that happen where they would go check the kid out and put them in a school of their choice without your
What?
permission because they have permission. If you don't have a custody agreement on file with the school, they will let the other parent do that. It just takes one parent to be able to unenroll a kid from school and register him for school.
Wow. Never heard of that.
I've
And I
seen
just want to
court
say
fighting
too,
about what school their kid can go to, like
yeah,
literally.
that's crazy. And as the healthy parents who are, on this line and people watching the replay, like really try to be one step ahead, 5 steps ahead of the narc, because like she said, you got to do this stuff legally. You have to document everything because these people are master manipulators, liars. They'll come in front of the judge and cry blood on the spot. And they sometimes they'll pass out in the court, just to get sympathy and all this stuff. And it's just the emotional stress is just, and then you looking at them like, just stop it. So,
Right.
try to be steps ahead and really get that legal stuff together because narcs will manipulate the system to their advantage every time. Like she said, they are, notorious for being victims. That's how they see themselves. Everybody on this line knows that. And so just really try to be a step ahead of them because if not, you're going to think, well, they've never done that before. They never took my kid out of the school. Narcs, I say we could go low, but narcs, they're low as in hell. We'll never be able to go as low as them because they are evil people and we're not. We may be hurt, we may be wounded, but these people operate through the realm of darkness. So you're sitting there like, oh, I never thought they would take my kid out the country. Like she said, get these things in place with the kids' passports and stuff like that so that, legally they can't do these things without your permission because these people are wicked and they do want to hurt you through your kids, like she said. Really important.
You're going to court, ask the judge to require them to sign the because if you have the other parent on the birth certificate, both parents have to sign in order for you to even get a passport. But
Mm.
the custody agreement that they need to sign for you to be able to get your kid's passport because anything could happen. You might need to leave the country, things like that. But I know parents in court fighting because the other parent refused to sign a contract. Like one of my clients, she had a destination wedding. Her kids couldn't go because they wouldn't sign a contract to get the passport.
Wow.
And she was getting married out of the country, and their kids couldn't even be at her wedding. They had to do two
That's so
ceremonies.
sad.
Um,
That's so sad.
and her kids can come to or do pictures, photo shoots here in the country, and then the father would let her leave and take them with her to her wedding.
Mm, mm,
They
mm.
just signed the paper.
Despiteful,
Mhm.
wicked.
Father never been there and never got help with the kid. Father probably seen the kid maybe one or two times in the 5 years. But when it came down to signing to get the passport, that was the only time he had an opinion. They're like, you don't even know what age your child is. What is your child?
Right. Don't even know their birthday or nothing.
And like, you ain't seen your child in 5 years and you want to fight me on this? It's crazy.
But you said it earlier. They will do whatever they can to prevent you from moving forward and being happy in your life.
Yep.
So that's what it is. If they know that, damn, they lost at defeating you and breaking you, and you were able to fall in love and have your new beginning, they're gonna come against that if they can. Keisha said, do
Oh, yeah.
not trust the family because they usually their
Right.
parents are in cahoots with the narcissist, and you can walk into an ambush and they'll lie on you in court. Yeah, that's another good point.
I've seen that happen where with my brother-in-law. Like a lot of the stuff I've seen happen with the mom family, like, oh, he's
Wow.
this and that, and the courts are like, I don't see any of this. What you're saying, and then they have to hire a private investigator to investigate, and it always comes
Horrible.
back. So you
Mm,
gotta
mm, mm.
trust but verify, and you gotta have yourself protected. Always have custody agreements, things like that on file with the school, and you
Okay,
could put
that's good.
where it require both parents to be able to make decisions or do things. Because in my parenting agreement, we put where I go so deep as to who can come to school events, who can come to teacher conference and stuff like that. Don't bring no extra people. It's just me, the two primary parents. We don't need no outside influences. We don't
Mm-hmm.
need sections. I put all that in detail in my co-parenting contract, like who
That's
can come
so
to
that's
the appointment,
smart.
who can come and do this, and it's going to be signed. And if you violate it, you would not be at the next one.
Good advice, guys. I mean, I didn't even know this stuff. Me and my son's father, the first husband, we had such a great relationship. And even when he was getting on my nerves, it still was like it wasn't bad. But I hear these horror stories and I'm just like, thank the Lord that mine was really smooth and easy the whole time, like really no major hiccups. But I just see so many mothers, good women, and good men who have children with narcissists, and they literally make their lives a living hell, and it just sucks the life out of them. And it's just like you got to go through all of that until the kid turns 18. It's just
But sometimes it continues further after 18. I've seen adult children.
yeah, but
Like, I can't even get married and invite both of my parents because of this. And
oh,
like literally grandparents fighting each other because of,
not the grandma and grandpa.
yeah, because you do become grandparents after you raise your
That's
kids.
true.
And then it's a whole nother level of manipulating grandbabies and everything else.
Oh,
So
Lord, help. That's it. That's all I can say is help.
that's
Because
that.
that's a lot to go through when you
Mhm.
think about that. Like, wait, hold up. Like, okay, the kid is 18 years old. They moved away. Now they're in their 20s or something, getting married, having their own kids. And now you got to fight them. Oh, no, I don't want my grandbaby over there with her.
Yep. And be like, oh, you can't invite this person to Christmas or this person to Thanksgiving because of this.
That's
Parenting is forever. I tell people that. Like, don't think it's until they're adult
it
because it's
is a
gonna go.
lot. It's a
Then
lot.
you'll have
And
a new level of
that's
parent.
why we got to be really mindful at who we have children with.
Yes,
Like we
that's
really do.
one and done. I learned my lesson the first time.
Right. I just got one too. I'm just like, and I thank God the only reason I wasn't able to have kids with the narc is because he got snipped or whatever. But if
Mhm.
he didn't have a vasectomy and he was trying to reverse it, he kept
Oh,
asking me, like, oh, don't you think I should reverse it? I always want a son. You're a great boy, mom. And I was looking at him like, you're not even a good husband. You think that,
right.
and you're a horrible father to your daughters. You curse them out like they're just, strangers off the street. I know that you would be abusive to my kid as well. So no, don't reverse nothing, dude. Keep the lock on that thing. We don't need those beastie seeds being released on the earth.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason because Lord knows you didn't want it, and then So that just happens. Some people can't avoid it or get away from that because of other levels of abuse within a relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's all I got for you guys. And this will
Thank
be my
you.
contact page. The things that she
Yeah,
mentioned.
please. Yeah. I'm gonna put all that information in the description box when I post it tomorrow. Thank you so much, Coach Mo. That was really awesome. Thank you. I mean, you were telling me stuff I never knew. Um,
And that's
and
just the surface.
yeah, you're just scratching the surface for the sake of time. But do anybody have any questions for Coach Mo? Because she could take it. She said, Keisha said she had to do a deliverance on her 3-year-old last night. I know that's right. She said, come out in Jesus' name. I know that's right. Oh God. Anybody have any questions for Coach Mo? Oh, can you please show that your contact information again? Because if anybody wants to be in contact with Coach Mo, you guys could, seek her services and stuff like that. You guys could screenshot that, reach out to her if you need that. Go ahead, Mo.
You text me or go to the website or email me. On the website, it has like contact me. It has all my other programs. The most popular one is I Am My Sister's Keeper for those moms and wives who got lost in the title of being a mom and wife and forget who they are, and I bring you back to finding you again. But yeah, that's probably the main way you'll see on the website because that's the one that's
yeah, because I know there are going to be some people that actually want to work with you. She's amazing. You guys already see she has a gentle approach, but she knows what she's talking about. Somebody asked you, she said, do you ever have parents court order for your program?
No, because when I teach parents how to co-parent, I teach them how to do it without using the courts. But I do have co-parenting contracts that you can purchase and then you go get it notarized. And I do one session with you to work with you to fill out the application, the contract, so that once it's finalized, you go get it notarized. Each person have their copy. And then it's good because it's a PDF. You can always go back and revamp and redo it every year or every quarter. Some people do quarterly contracts. We're like, okay, let's see in this season what it's going to be. Then they'll be like, okay, this work, we can keep going with this, or we need to change it. So they go back and you always have a copy of that contract to be able to go back and redo it each year or quarterly.
Yeah, that's really, really good. I think stuff like this, people need to know, and we got to get out of our emotions, ladies. A lot of us is like still mad at the guy, but we're not thinking with our minds. We're, just reacting from a place of pain. And that's what narcissists will do. They will literally like target your emotions because they know they used to be with you. They know how to hurt you. And so we have to do this the right way to protect ourselves and our kids. Any more questions for Coach Mo?
I have one.
Yeah.
Hi, Coach Mo. Hi, I have a question. Anybody can really answer. About 2 years ago, I blocked my son's dad off of video chat because I have an iPhone. He has an Android. So we did a video so that after we broke up, he could be able to, video chat with my son. He's a toddler. And one day, we went to a friend's house, and I don't get on the video chat. It's just I let him do it, like you see, with my son. And my friend is the one who noticed that he was more concerned about what I'm doing than what about my son. So we were in a pool, and I'm like, I'm not gonna leave my son, in a pool. At that time he would have been about almost 2. And so from that point on, and he got more and more aggressive to the point I blocked him, but my I left where he can still call me by cell phone, but he can't video chat. Is there more of a setting of a boundary, or do you think any kind of way I may have violated any kind of thing, or because he doesn't even call now, unless he's like asking a question about the visitation on the biweekly visitations or something about picking him up, but he doesn't like do a daily call anymore.
Because it wasn't about the kid.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's
it's about me. Yeah.
And what I tell people with toddlers, you don't even need to have video calls with kids under 3. It's half time they don't know what's going on. They don't even keep the phone on them. They be doing everything else distracted. It's an age limit for me when it comes to like video calls. Older kids, yes. Younger
Okay.
kids, you don't even need to call the kid. You'll talk to them in person because sometimes the kid don't even be talking on the phone. They don't know how to
And then he would be looking like why are you calling me? Like my child is looking like why are you calling me?
Conversation.
No.
So like kindergarten
Yeah.
age and up, they can hold a conversation because I see kids like frustrated, like daddy not talking because the man want the kid to initiate the conversation and they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know how to question you and ask about your day and stuff like that. That's your way of communicating with them. So at a certain age, like kindergarten and up, no video calls or really phone calls because sometimes little kids, unless the kid asks to talk to their parent, I'd be like, there's no need for you to be on the phone with them because
Okay.
you're not gonna actually come on and talk to them. You want to know about me.
Yeah, because everything else legally, I go through it. I have a cousin. My cousin is my attorney, so anything else I can kind of handle through him.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good restriction, age restriction. Just keep age in mind because we know at a certain age they don't know what to talk about. They'll tell all your business. You can't even coach them on the conversation. Like, don't tell this because they're too young to understand what's going on. That's why I do age restrictions. Like toddlers are off limits. You're not about to manipulate my kid that early.
I like that. That's good. That's good, Coach Mo. Anybody else? Just unmute yourself and ask her a question or put it in the chat. Gabrielle says, I'm divorced from my daughter's father. My 8-year-old is in therapy and handling things well. My 2-year-old cries almost an hour when I pick her up. It's heartbreaking and he throws it in my face. Any suggestions or how I can help her transition faster from our parenting swaps?
So the question would be for the 2-year-old, is the 2-year-old able to communicate why they're crying? Because kids don't do things for no reason.
I really don't know. She just cries out, I want my daddy, and it's so heartbreaking. And I mean, once we get home and she settles in and she calms down, she's all over me. But in the moment, I feel like she doesn't want to be with me. So I'm like, just go. I just want to just go with him. But it's like he's eating it up.
That's
and
that parent guilt. That's what he wants. To be manipulating the kids, say, mommy's a bad person, stuff like that, because you don't know what conversations are going on outside of where you're at.
I used to have that too, Gabrielle. And I think my son is starting to see more and more because he's very, very smart. But what I do is I just like Coach Mo was saying, I just remain the positive parent, and I reward him and I teach him things and I'm the fun, but I'm not dad is kind of like the fun parent. I'm more like about let's get education because I am the educated parent too at that because I have a master's in social work. So I have to be the parent teaching him his ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and then I reward him, for different things. And he's very helpful. But I used to get that too, and I think just continue to be your positive self and love on them. And like you say, like somebody was saying, they go through deliverance. I put holy oil on my son every Friday morning before he goes to daycare. It's like the Holy Spirit wakes me up at some point in the night between like 2 and 6 o'clock in the morning to tell me, hey, it's time. Or before I even go to bed, sometimes on that Thursday night, and it's like, hey, time to put that holy oil on because you know what environment he's going into.
Yeah. I agree with Michelle
too. Thank you. Yeah.
In the comments. Because 2-year-olds is kind of hard because we don't know their love language yet. and most kids' love language is gifts. I used to go to Dollar Tree and buy a bucket and put a bunch of dollar stuff in it. And whenever I wanted to reward my son, I would just go have it to go give him a gift because his love language was gifts. That helped
Mm.
that transition. He loves stuffed animals, so that was his comfort blanket. So I would get
Oh,
the stuffed animal and
That's
keep
a
it
good idea. Hmm.
because
yeah.
Dollar Tree have so many different things, and I'll get stickers because I do with my nieces because my niece hate when it comes time to go back home,
Mhm.
and she'll have an attitude. I'll give her a hug, like love you, give her hugs,
Mhm.
kisses, but she knows she always got a stuffed animal coming. It only cost me $1, but I'll just have that goodie
Mm.
basket just in case there's a struggle or a hard time or stickers.
Yeah,
Stickers at that age.
Yeah,
that's good.
I agree because like with my son, he likes music, and so he wants to play the drums. So what I did was I went on Amazon and bought some drumsticks. And when he got into the car about a month and a half ago, he had a pack of 4 drumsticks waiting right there. He was excited. So I think of different ways, but yeah, I mean, like I went through that same thing, Gabrielle. I'm telling you, and when I got to thinking outside the box on keeping him from like having a point of having dad, that resentment. He
Mm.
went from loving, I don't want to go because he used to be, I want to go with my daddy, or I don't want. He'll be crying like that to the point now. It's I don't want to. He's starting to say, I'm talking low because he's in the other room. I don't want to go with daddy. And he doesn't like in the new supply that dad and new supply just broke up, but he doesn't. He definitely with this new supply, he doesn't like her. So
Mm.
I have to tell him. I redirect my conversation
And we
Yeah.
regarding them.
now he's 15, so he's like, "Do I gotta go with my dad this weekend?" And
Mhm.
his dad will feel bad. I'm like, "You're breaking your dad heart," but I always try to protect his dad as well. Um, but I'm like, "Why don't you want to go?" He's like, "Well, his new girlfriend has 5 kids. My son is the only child. He don't like sharing his dad."
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, so tell his dad, y'all gotta have one-on-one time. I know you're there in that household, and those are her kids. They all got daddies, but this is your time with your kid. You got to do some one-on-one stuff so he can feel like
Mhm.
I don't have to share. So I've coached his dad on how to feed into his love language. I'm like, your son like gifts. Even sometimes like
Mm.
you have the money, I'll send you some money, get him a gift. Y'all go to a father son date. Because he get that with me. We have a intentional every Saturday. We do a brunch, a mom and son brunch, and we have our intentional time. There's no phones, no tablets. We just spend time together, self-reflect throughout the week about our week and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, before you go with your dad, we're gonna have our brunch and our bonding time. So he want that with his dad. And I try to tell him this is where you
Mhm.
compromise. He's used to this,
Nice.
and
Mhm.
I don't need him to be like, oh, I have fun. I go on vacation out of the country with mommy. I don't do nothing with daddy. Daddy's born. Daddy broke. Like,
Not daddy broke.
no, because he'll be like, they giving me TV dinners. He know his mom cook home cooked meals. And
Right.
it
Right.
was at that house. Here's some money. Put it on your debit card. You can order DoorDash. And his dad,
Mm.
I can't afford to eat him the way you feed him because my son is not no. He's 6'3". He's 15. He'd be like,
That's
I
a
want some
big boy.
carne muscles. I'm not getting no burrito in the microwave. My mom don't even warm up no stuff in the microwave. Like,
Right.
he'd be like,
Right.
Dad, I could cook. I could just buy groceries because I'll get the groceries delivered over there and he'll cook for them. I'm like, your
Um,
son ain't no microwave processed food kind of kid.
You know better than that.
Oh yeah.
Michelle said, you could also redirect her attention away from her feelings, make transition from daddy to mommy more peaceful, fun, her favorite music in the car, a peace and fun car. Michelle also said that narcs are good at manipulating feelings, especially children. He might be working up your child before you come get them. Worship music, having a fun little thing ready in the car to get them help. Plus, letting them feel what they want to without making a big deal helps.
Save your energy. Even if you got to come with some sage and burn it. I've done that before. Be like, the devil is a lie. Like, we
Mhm.
better protect my energy. Go ahead and drop them off or I'll pick them up, whatever. I'll be like, I don't want to hear anything. And my son will be like, Mom, when are you coming? Like, you taking too long. I'm ready to go.
Any other questions for Coach Mo? You could just unmute yourself and ask the question. Any other questions?
It don't have to be about parenting or anything like that.
Yeah, whatever y'all want. Do y'all feel like y'all learned a lot tonight? Some people might be typing right now.
Thank you. I see what you put.
Huh? Oh,
Yeah,
she said great, great advice, great tips. Yep. Yeah, I mean, this stuff is really, really good. I don't hear a lot of people talking about parenting with a narcissist and really like steps that we can take. They'll just say, parallel parent, boom. But nobody like went into what you need to do. And it was so great how you broke everything down and even the legal stuff. People don't talk about stuff like this, the parenting apps. All this stuff is really, really important. And it's going to help people as they go forward with their, making sure those relationships with their kids are solid, because once, knowledge is power. And, when you use it and you apply it, that's wisdom. So
right.
I think this is really, really good. Going once, going twice. Any more questions? If not, I'm gonna pray and then, we gonna close out. Okay. Oh, she said thank you. Yeah. Amen. Amen, Gabrielle. All right, Coach Mo, any parting words before you go?
Protect your peace. And it's okay to know the others. Because if you're not good, nobody else is good that you have to take care of. So make sure you put you first. I know we like to put the kids first, but you have to be good first.
Demetria said this was very informative. More tips that she can use. Renee says she's not a parent, but good tips. She can pass it along. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's what we want. Like, some people are not parents, but guess what? Some people want kids in the future. You can know about these things now and stuff like that. Like, you never know. I mean, most people don't want to be a single parent, but things happen in life.
Right.
When I upload it tomorrow on YouTube, I'm definitely gonna put your contact information in the description box. Thank you so much for being on, Mo. Let me just pray. Father God, just thank you for each and every woman that is on this live right now. And I thank you for the people who are watching the replay. Thank you, Lord, for bringing Coach Mo in, because when I was in my kitchen a couple weeks ago, you showed her to me and you said she needed to be on. So I just thank you, Lord, for bringing her here and her saying yes, Lord. Thank you for the yeses, Lord. I thank you for the wisdom that she imparted here today. And I just pray that everybody that hears the sound of her voice can take in what she's saying. I pray that families are healed and restored, Lord. I pray that court cases go well for your people, Lord. And I just pray for these children, Lord. And I just thank you for all you do, Lord. Thank you for just vindicating your people, Lord. And I just thank you for protecting us and protecting our children, Lord, and increasing our finances, even people who need new homes, Lord, apartments and, money for attorneys and stuff. I just pray for those things right now. And I just thank you, Lord, for what you do in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, T.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Coach Mo, for being on. That's my girl. I'm gonna be hollering at you. I'm gonna be coming back. I don't know if I want to say that publicly, but I'm gonna holler at you and I talk to you about some things, Coach Mo, offline. But yeah, thank you so much for being on. Thank you for like speaking to my girls, my crew.
Thanks
And
for inviting me.
yeah, this is awesome. Awesome. Thank you, honey. This was a blessing. All right, everybody, have a great week. I love y'all. I'm gonna be on tomorrow night. I'm gonna be talking about astrology. Are you taking on Satan's identity? So if y'all want to rock with me on that, rock with me on that, because it's gonna be really, really good. It's taking me a month to put together this presentation. It's going to be real solid. All right. Good night, ladies. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.